Bonjour and welcome to the French revision live stream. This is the first one for your reading exam tomorrow, and I think you also have listening. So if we have time at the end of the live stream today, we'll do some listening practice. I've seen you guys wanting to do some of that. So this is for any exam board, mainly for AQA, because it's AQA actual questions that we're going to be going through, but it's also applicable to Edexcel because there's not too many disparities or discrepancies between the two. So I'm going to share my screen. The dates are a bit, as you guys are saying in the chat, the dates are a bit messed up on the PowerPoint because I was confused which exam you had when. So this is definitely for today. I hope your English literature exam went well as well. I hope you managed to put all your points in. So here you can see there's loads of subtopics. So there's different units. So you can either split your French revision into the 8 themes, or you can split the revision into loads of different subtopics. It's up to you. However, but we'll be going through them one by one so that we go through all the topics, so you should be aware. Now, this is a big page document. It's 138 pages. So hopefully we can get through this as fast as possible. I would recommend trying to answer this alongside me. Okay, now what you'll notice about the reading exam is there's a lot of words just repeated over the years, and they're quite difficult words, but if you get used to them, then you'll be absolutely fine for the exam. Okay, so we're going to go through each of these topics. You've got this massive topic list here, and they will therefore take you through all the modules and make sure you have all of the vocabulary that you need. If you have any questions, just put it in the chat, but I can't guarantee that I will definitely see it because I'm on a different page. Okay, this is for reading, but it's beneficial as well. I don't do history, unfortunately. That's just because I didn't even do the GCSE and I don't have any resources for it. So yeah. Okay, let's begin. So it's going to begin with like a multiple choice question, and then we'll progress into harder questions. So it's applicable for both higher and foundation, but it's more applicable towards higher. Okay, you see this advertisement on a supermarket notice board while on holiday in France. Read the following sentences. Now, if you think the sentence is true, write T in the box. If you think that it is false, then write F in the box. And then if you think the information is not even in the text, write question mark. So they're always going to try and trick you in these reading exams. So let's go. The first one says the house is quite close to public transport. So let's read this and try and find where it is, and I can highlight this here. So what I'd always recommend is with your reading exam, go through with a highlighter and answer them. Make sure you're highlighting in the text exactly where you're finding it. So the house is quite close to public transport. This is already given to us. So moving on to A. The toilet is on the ground floor. So going through the text, let's see what we can have. A modern house, which is near to the 200 meters town, au rez-de-chaussée le salon à manger, au premier étage. So on the first floor, you have 3 rooms, a bathroom. Now, we said that the toilet is on the ground floor. No, in fact, the ground floor is here and you don't see any toilet. So the first answer is false. So let's just put a false there. Okay, moving on. There are gardens at the front and rear. So this is testing your knowledge on different languages. Okay, or on different directions. So we've got at the front and the rear. So at the front, what is that in French? At the front is devant, and behind in French is derrière. So trying to find this out, let's see. And the gardens. Au premier étage, 3 rooms, bathroom, bedroom, etc. Possibly a games room as well. Now, it doesn't mention anything about gardens, so in fact, we actually say question mark. Because what is garden in French? Garden is jardin, and you don't see it at all. So it's not even mentioned. Okay, the next one. There is a space which could be used as a playroom. We already read that. So we've got une salle de jeu here. And it's saying possibilité. So it possibly can be used as a games room. So that is completely true. Try and put your answers here as well in the chat. I can see some of you doing that, which is really good. Okay, moving on. The furniture could be bought together, with the house. Now, furniture is meuble. So this is often a key phrase that they put. And let's see where it is. You can see meuble is here. So now let's look at the sentence. Comme nous partons à l'étranger, nous espérons aussi vendre le meuble. Okay, so yep. Nous espérons, you can also wish to buy it with the furniture, like the house. So yeah, it's saying that that is true. Now, you don't have to know every single word. You just have to be able to get a gist of what is being said there. Can I link the document? Yes, good idea. There it is, if anybody wants to access that. Okay, continuing on here. You can contact the owners anytime at the weekend. Is this true or is this false? Okay. Now we can see téléphoner at the bottom, so that means contacting, but it says le soir, jusqu'au 21h. So just before, let me just make sure. Just before 20 to 1 o'clock. So that's testing your time. So therefore, it's not any time of the day, and therefore it's false. The link doesn't work. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't really know what to do. I can't really change the link, unfortunately. You're gonna just have to watch this. I'll try and link it at the end. So false, sorry, that's false, not true. I'll try and link at the end of the live stream, unless you really want it now, and then perhaps I'll have to edit the description of the video. Okay, continuing on. Life after being a celebrity. Read Renee's magazine interview with Emma, a reality show winner. I never recommend reading the whole thing. I feel like that's just a waste of time and you end up forgetting. So I remember myself doing it. I simply just looked at the question and tried finding the answer. So, how long is it since Emma won the contest? Now it's 3 years, so this is already answered for us. According to her first reply, why is she now happier? So let's try and find out what we can see here. So according to her first reply, why is she happier? So her first reply is really directing us as well. Après ma victoire, after winning, j'ai eu beaucoup de projets. I've had a lot of projects. J'ai écrit quelques chansons. I write sometimes songs. And j'ai eu un peu de succès avec mes 2 CD et aussi à la télé. So I had some success there as well. But she's not mentioned anything about happiness. So let's see where she says happiness. Ce qui me plaît beaucoup. That's to my liking a lot. So let's see if that links to it. What does it say here? Sans être obligé de parler avec des gens que je ne connaissais pas. Je peux faire le course. So clearly, what's happening here is she's saying that she can do things in her life without being obligated to have to speak to other people that she doesn't know. Koni is no, which pleases her a lot. So she likes the fact that people don't bother her. So in your answer, you can put, why is she happy recently? She's happy because she doesn't get bothered by others. In the mark schema also says that she does not get recognized. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Next one. Why is she nervous about getting married? So let's go into this one. So let's read the next one. Firstly, just hopefully going over your knowledge about marriage. So what is the marriage is mariage, and that's the same thing. And words like wife is femme, and husband is mari. So those are the keywords we're looking out for. So let's see. Tout a changé. J'ai rencontré Antoine pendant la série. I met Antoine during the series. Et nous comptons nous marier l'année prochaine. So, nous comptons, which means we count, nous marier l'année prochaine. So the key word here is l'année prochaine, which means next year. So what even was the question? I've forgotten. The question was, why is she nervous about getting married? Well, je suis un peu nerveuse. Ma meilleure amie, my best friend, n'a découvert, has not discovered le vrai caractère de son mari qu'après 2 ans de mariage. So what she's saying is her best friend only got to know what her husband was like after 2 years. And she doesn't want the same thing to happen with her husband. So that's all you have to say. If I'm going too fast or too slow, do let me know. So you can say she's nervous because her best friend only got to know the true character of her husband 2 years after marriage. Okay, continuing on. Well, how does she hope her marriage will turn out? This is important. Let's see what she says, probably in the same thing. So she says j'espère, which means she wishes. J'espère que mon expérience, I wish that my experience, will be plus ou moins pareille à celle de ma sœur Annie, Caroline, qui est de jumeaux et une mari que l'aimons profondément. So she wants it to be as similar or as good as her sister's marriage. So that she'll be as happy as her older sister. Okay? So sœur aînée means older sister. So how does she hope her marriage will turn out? You can say as good as her sister's. Now, hopefully you guys have watched lots of my grammar videos that I've been doing a lot for French, so you're able to find out which grammar is being used, things like as good as, comparative, superlatives, etc. This is for any exam board, but it's mostly for AQA because the questions are similar, but Edexcel is also very much applicable. It doesn't really matter. French is quite the same. Okay. What aspects of living in Paris is she pleased to have left behind? Give 2 details. So this must be in the last response. She says, je ne regrette pas quelques années de célébrité. So she doesn't regret sometimes. Il faut profiter de toute l'expérience qu'on a dans la vie. So one should profit from all the experiences that you have in life. So il faut is always one should. So that's often a key phrase, and I would also recommend using that in your writing exam. But here we are being asked what 2 things, what was the question again? What 2 things is she pleased to have left behind? Okay, so j'ai appris à ne pas croire tout ce qu'on nous promet. Okay. So here there's got this idea of promises. Surtout à apprécier ma famille et mes amis ici à Angers. Plus que j'ai connu à Paris. Il y en avait qui cherchent tout simplement à s'associer avec mon succès plutôt qu'avec moi. So by the way, this is going to be a lot more difficult than your actual exam. So a lot of this is using very high difficulty tenses, and it's not going to be like that in the exam. It's going to be majority understandable, and then there'll be some uses of hard grammar. So, what she's saying here is I've learnt to not trust people and to keep promises. So she's talking about she couldn't trust people to keep promises. So that's one thing that you can say. Okay, and then another aspect that she's pleased to have left behind. So let's just keep reading. Well, to be fair, it says two details, so it doesn't have to be two separate things. Let's keep an eye out. So, appreciate that my family and my friends, even more than I know in Paris. So there's a reference to her family and friends. Ils y ont avis qui cherchent tout simplement à associer avec mon succès plutôt qu'avec moi. So people wanted to know about her success and be with her for her success more than actually being with her. So people were kind of quite fake in that way. So she couldn't trust people to keep promises, and people only wanted to surround her because she was famous, a celebrity. Okay, moving on. Why does she think that Antoine was lucky to be eliminated from this show so early? So why was he lucky? À mon avis, in my opinion, Antoine a eu de la chance. So he was actually lucky. He had a good opportunity. Éliminé au premier tour, in the first round, il a pu éviter tout ce que moi, j'ai dû affronter après ma victoire. So, let's go through the words here. Il a pu éviter. He has évité. He's evaded. He's avoided everything that she has. J'ai dû affronter après ma victoire. So he didn't have all of the problems that she had to face after being victorious. So we can just say he didn't have to face all of the problems that she had to after winning. It's not a GCSE paper, it's actually got some harder questions, and it's a really good document because it's got practice on every single topic. So that's why we're doing that. Because also you guys have access to reading papers, so I thought if you wanted to do reading papers, you could probably do that yourself. So hopefully this is actually a much more beneficial thing for you guys. Okay, continuing on. Pressures and problems. What does each person say about the pressures that they feel? Link the two parts of these sentences together and write the correct letter in each box. So, which one matches up? For the first one, sentence 1 matches up with B. So, à mon avis, le prof donnait trop de devoirs. So the teachers, in my opinion, give too much homework. So let's now match up the other sentences. Hopefully you can do this in your own time. So, mes parents espéraient que my parents wish me to be, now, vais devenir médecin comme eux, to go into medicine like them. It seems like that option, but let's see. Continuer mes études au lycée, continue my studies in sixth form. N'acceptez pas le vêtement que je veux porter. They do not accept the clothes that I want to wear. Comme ma sœur, like my sister. Le métier que je fais. And je ne suis pas assez qualifié, so I'm not really qualified. So, sentence 1 matches up with A. Sentence 2, je ne pas encore, matches up with F. Sentence 3, la directrice est gentille, so the director or the head teacher is gentle, mais this matches up with D. But she doesn't accept clothes that I want to wear. And the last one, avec le note que j'ai, je ne vais pas pouvoir. So with the grades that I have, key thing here, this is grades, je ne vais pas pouvoir, and this is going to be with C. I will not be able to continue my studies in sixth form. Okay, let's continue on now. Read how these people cope with stress, and then what's the practice? Who does the following write the correct letter? So instead, I think we should just work on translating it and looking at key phrases here. So we've got moi, je me couche tôt et je regarde un DVD. So I go to bed early. That's what this means. Je me couche. It's one of those verbs which has me in front of it, like je me lever. And tôt means early, and I watch a DVD. Je sors en vie avec mes copines au cinéma peut-être ou dans un club. So I go out to town with my friends, female friends here, copine. If it was copine, it would be masculine. And au cinéma peut-être. Peut-être means perhaps. French people use it a lot when they're talking. So you'll probably hear it when you've got your listening or in a club. Okay, continuing on. Je vais au gymnase au moins 4 fois par semaine. So I go to the gym at least au moins 4 times per week. Je vais au café et prends un verre de vin, ça me relaxe. So prends un verre de vin, that means take a glass of wine. So they use the word take a glass of wine as opposed to have a glass of wine. And ça me relaxe, that means it relaxes me. Je trouve que je sois moins stressée si je m'achetais quelque chose de nouveau. So I find that I am less stressed if I find that I'm less stressed if I buy myself something new. So m'acheter, the use of the me here is to suggest that she's doing it to herself. She's buying something to herself. Je cherche la tranquillité en faisant de randonnées à la campagne. So here's a really important grammar term here. So je cherche la tranquillité. I find or I search for the tranquility or the calmness en faisant de randonnées. So this is the equivalent of using ing verbs in English. So doing or eating or watching TV. So in this case, en faisant. So when you've got the en and the faisant, that means doing. If you had something like en lisant, that means reading. Or en dirant, that means saying. Okay, je vais dans ma chambre et je lis. I go to my room and I read. Je fais du VTT à la campagne. Le gymnase, ça ne m'intéresse pas. So VTT just means biking, mountain biking. So I go mountain biking. The campagne means countryside, and the gym, it doesn't interest me. Okay. Let's now continue on. So answer the problems in English. What exactly is Claire's problem at school? So we're going on to the next topic of school. Give 2 details. Okay. Je m'appelle Claire et j'ai 4 ans. Mon problème, je suis la fille d'un principal de collège. Here's one sentence very straight up. So what is the problem? Je suis la fille, I am the daughter of the principal of the college. So that's one problem. And then another one, mon père travaille dans le même collège au moi. He works in the same college as me. Je suis élevée, I'm a student. Il y a beaucoup de garçons qui me trouvent gentille et jolie, mais ils ne voulaient pas sortir avec moi à cause de mon père. So they don't want to go out with her because of her father. Okay, so that answered the first one. What are we told about Claire's mother's attitude? Give 2 details. Okay. So, ma mère ne me comprend pas, elle ne me prend pas au sérieux. So she doesn't understand her and she doesn't take her seriously. So those are the 2 details given there. Next. What advice is Claire given? So, let's see. Heureusement, fortunately, tu ne pas tout le temps au collège. You will not always be in school. Essayez de rencontrer des garçons qui étudient ailleurs. You can find boys who study elsewhere. And that's 2 details, so that should be sufficient. Qui ne fréquentent pas ton établissement. So who don't go close to your school or to your place of work. Okay. Now, some people are asking to do listening practice. I don't know if that is universal. So, should we do a poll to see if you guys want to do listening practice or keep going with this reading? I'll do a YouTube poll to make sure that it's beneficial for you guys on the community tab. So, thing is, I don't know how we'll do listening practice because are we saying then that I would speak instead of the woman? I don't know how that would work. But you can try and vote there. I don't know how listening practice would work if I was to do it. You can go on the YouTube tab and vote what you want to do. We can keep going with this practice or we can do a listening. What I might have to do is kind of just make up a listening though. It might not necessarily be exam unless I can find a one. We'll do a Kahoot at the end. I think most people want to do some sort of solid revision before they do a Kahoot. I know it's a lot about vocab, so that's really important as well. So if you can vote, that would be really good. So, okay, most people are saying do listening practice. Unfortunately, there won't be a psychology video. I don't do psychology. A lot of people want to do Kahoot now. Okay, one second. Let me make a. But then I don't know if there's a French vocab Kahoot. We'll see. If not, I'll have to make one. I'll do a poll. Okay, you can vote for whether you want to do Kahoot or not. That is another poll on the YouTube. Yeah, some people want to go over content, so. The thing is, there's 113 people here, but only 20 people are voting. So I don't know if it's actually reflecting what everyone wants to do. I think we'll do a Kahoot later. We need to focus on the reading revision. So we'll do a Kahoot at, let's say, 8:30. So if you want to come, if those people who don't want to go through the reading, you can come back at 8:30 for that, okay? So if you want to do Kahoot, if you want to join the Kahoot, we'll do a Kahoot at 8:30. If not, let's complete this reading practice. Okay, continuing on. What exactly is Claire? Okay, we spoke about this. What are we told about Claire's mother's attitude? We answered that. What advice is Claire given? We spoke about that. So this exercise is done, I think. Or what will happen next year? So you can see here, we will not forget that you will be 15 soon, and next year tu quitteras, you will leave school. Et tu auras une nouvelle école, you will have a new school où les garçons pourront sortir avec toi sans problème, where boys will be with you without any problem. Okay. So that is what will happen next year. So two things that will happen next year. She'll go to a new school and then boys will want to be with her no matter what problem. We're now on to relationships. Mon petit ami et moi, my small friend and I, nous aimons à la folie. Nous aimons means we both like, and then le folie means the madness. So we're both as mad as each other. So let's actually start by looking at what we're being asked. So what is Annick's problem? Mais il y a un problème. Je suis français et lui a le peu noir. What? Is that the problem? Okay. It's saying, I don't know why it says that. My problem is that. Okay, Annick's problem is that he. Okay, we'll just skip that question. A lot of people are arguing in the comments that they say they don't want to do that, do the reading. Thing is, a Kahoot isn't going to be as beneficial, and I don't think there's even a Kahoot with all the vocab that you need. So there's no point in really doing that. That's what I'm suggesting. That's why I'm suggesting we do a reading. And then listening. Okay, I'll try and do listening. Yeah, the racism. The racism. Okay. Yes, there will be. Okay, yeah, I will do a small Kahoot. Since everybody wants to do a Kahoot. Okay, Kahoot, French. I didn't think you guys would want to do it. I thought you would want to do more focused work, but if you want to do a Kahoot, we'll do a Kahoot. Okay, let me find one. Give me a second. Sorry about the people who didn't want to do a Kahoot. We'll do it to please the majority. I cannot find. If you guys can find a French Kahoot, please link it because I can't find a single one. There's Quizlet. Quizlet has vocab, but I don't think you guys want to do a Quizlet, so. I tried to give a link to the document, but it's not working. Okay, there's no Quizlet, there's no Kahoot, and no one is suggesting anything, so we're gonna have to just continue or do listening or do the booklet. Okay, people are saying just do the reading, so let's do the reading. We'll continue on with the reading. I'm so sorry for the people who didn't want to do that, but there's no option, so off we go. Okay. We're going to skip this question because there's a bit of issues with this. Moving on. Traditional or new media? Read what these young people wrote in an internet chat room about traditional media, TV and radio, and new media, internet and smartphones. Okay. Give 3 advantages of traditional media from what people have been saying. So, on the TV, you can find actual memes at any time of the day. It's annoying, especially with every single repetition. Okay, so that's not an advantage. Quand même, avec, so anyway, avec de reporters partout, so with the reporters all the way around the world, on a des informations et des images presque immédiates. So keyword here is presque, which means almost, and you can get reporters around the world and information about anything. So Getting the access to instant information, that is one advantage there. Moi aussi, je trouve la répétition casse-pied. So, casse-pied means a pain in the neck. So they find the repetition a pain in the neck. Je préfère ce que je trouve sur Internet. I prefer what I find on the internet, c'est-à-dire des images qui ne présentent pas de point de vue politique. So it's giving out information that is unbiased. It does not have a political view and standpoint. Okay. So we're giving advantages on traditional media, so that's not really talking too much about that. That's new, modern. Oui, et souvent, on voit exactement ce qui arrive. So, we see exactly what is true. Comme par exemple, comme quelqu'un. So, as an example, when someone uses a phone, a portable phone, for filming an event in a country where the government doesn't allow the distribution of images, there will be protests. So, de protestation populaire. Yes, okay. So those are some benefits that you get the real image of everything that happens, and what you see you actually find on the TV, and they gave an example as well. D'accord, of course. On y voit de choses que on ne verrait pas à la télé. So you can find things that you won't find on the TV, et on peut le revoir autant de fois qu'on veut. So you can see things as much as you want. So there's a sense of freedom, autant qu'on veut, and you can see things that you won't see on TV. So TV is very guarded. Sur Internet, on trouve des films d'antécédents très drôles qu'on ne voit jamais à la télé à cause de la censure. So things will be censored. So films about incidents. Literally just incident films that are very funny. So things that are very funny you wouldn't never find on the TV. Oui, mais à la télé ou à la radio, il y a des débats qui nous aident à mieux comprendre les événements. So on the TV and the radio, or when on the radio, there will be debates which will help have a better understanding of events. So that's one advantage finally. Dans certains pays, in certain countries, on utilise les réseaux sociaux, we use social media, pour dénoncer le acte criminel, so for announcing criminal acts commis par le gouvernement contre le peuple. So committed by the government towards the people. Ce n'est pas toujours possible à la télé, je crois. So this person thinks that any fraud or things like the government corruption, the TV will never tell you that, but it will tell you on social media. Moi, j'aime bien quand à une heure, après une longue journée au collège, so I have a long time till college, j'allume la télé. So what does j'allume à la télé mean? I turn on the TV et je vois tout ce qui se passait ici en France et dans d'autres pays Ça fait partie de ma routine de tous les jours. So it's part of my routine every day to turn on the TV and see what is going on in France and other countries. So there's another advantage just to get awareness. So 3 advantages of traditional media. So spreading information and pictures, reporters give information quickly, you can find out what's happening in the world. Those are the 3 things that are mentioned. Give 3 advantages of new media. So from reading what we said, you can say watching TV, the news fits people's, so using social media fits people's routines, and you can get information against that you wouldn't get on TV because it's not politically biased. Okay. Continuing on. Si je pense rentrer tard, j'appelle ma mère. Rentrer tard. So I think I will stay late. So tard is late and rentrer is to stay. So I think I will stay late. J'appelle ma mère. Comme ça, elle ne s'inquiète pas. So s'inquiète pas means that, like her, she is not worried. On voit souvent de jeunes qui appellent de copains qui sont tout près. So you are able to often see young individuals who call their friends and they are very near, who are often near to each other. So c'est pas le plan. Which seems to mean it's not worth it. C'est pas le plan. That's a good phrase to use. Le portable pendant le cours, using phones during the lessons, c'est pas génial. It's amazing, it's great. Bien sûr, of course, mais pendant le récré, ça peut être utile. During break, it can also be useful. So recreational time. Ça m'énerve que mon copain m'envoie de textos pendant le cours. It annoys me, angers me that my friend sends me texts during the lessons. Je suis sûre qu'il n'apprend rien quand il fait ça. So, je suis sûre, I'm sure that nothing wrong will happen when phones are taken away. Il y a de élèves qui pensent qu'il est important d'avoir le modèle le plus récent. There are students who believes that it's important to have the most recent phone model. C'est bien pratique d'avoir mon portable avec moi, mais suivre la mode, je trouve ça bête. So it's very practical to have my phone with me, but following the fashion, I will find that it's stupid. So the fashion trends are stupid. I have friends qui vont à autre collège, who go to another college. Avec mon portable, je peux le contacter et le parler de ce qu'on pourrait faire le soir, par exemple. So you can talk to them about what goes on, and here you've got the conditional tense being used here, in the evening, for example. Okay, continuing on. Advantages and disadvantages of new technology. Mon nouveau portable est hyper cool. Okay, let's actually read the phrases before we get started. So, Reza uses his mobile as a camera. Let's see if that's true. True, false, or whether it's even actually mentioned. My new phone is really cool. It's a very popular model, donc je suis sûr qu'il n'y aura pas de problème. It will not have any problems, he's sure. Je fais toutes sortes de choses avec. I can do all sorts of things with it. Evidently, je bavarde avec. I can chat with it. My friends and my male friends, my female friends, and a plus, I take photos and send them all the time. So clearly that proves the first statement is true. He does use his mobile phone as a camera. He downloads maps to help him find his way. Je surfe aussi sur Internet, donc je peux, par exemple, comparer le prix. So I also surf the internet so that I can, for example, compare the prices with what I buy, quelque chose sometimes. Et le mieux pour moi, and the best thing for me, c'est que je peux recevoir, it is that I can receive un texto, a text, avec le résultat du foot, the text about the football results. Mais tout ça coûte cher. Of course, they're all expensive, et j'ai peur de le perdre parce qu'il est vraiment parti. So, j'ai peur de le perdre, which is talking about how I can easily lose it, and I have easily lost it because it's very small. So is there any mention of downloading maps and finding his way? No, there is not. His favorite facility is having information about prices. Let's see if it says his favorite thing. No, it seems that his favorite thing is, in fact, seeing the results of football. So again, that is false. Okay, he is not aware of any disadvantages. No, that is false as well because we spoke about the ability for him to lose his phone. Okay. Je ne peux pas vivre sans mon téléphone portable. Let's actually see what the questions are before we do this. Who choose the correct person in the correct box? Yeah, it is question mark for the second answer. That's true. Oh, sorry, I think I accidentally put that. Yeah, it's supposed to be question mark. Okay, choose the correct person for each of these. I think we need to get through this quickly, so we've already done a mobile phones exercise. Let's keep going as fast as possible. Menu in the school canteen. Okay, this is about food. Which of these items are on the menu? Select 4 items and then write the letters in the box. So what do you see here? Which of these are on the menu? Okay, so hopefully that gives you enough time to look at it. So you can see we've got chicken here, poulet frites, so A is definitely here. We've got jambon, which you should recognize as ham, so H is there. Bœuf avec le légume, so that there's no actual option notice for beef, so you've got vegetables, however, le légume, so that is an answer. They're trying to trick you out there. And then poisson avec salade, fish with salad, so doesn't seem like an option. A, and then tarte aux pommes, apple tart, that is an option, so there you go. So A, H, C, and G. Okay, eating out. So you've got different foods here again. Choose a set menu for the following people. So Frank is a vegetarian, dodgy spelling of Frank here, and he loves chocolate. Okay, so vegetarian, we're looking for légumes, anything that doesn't have meat in it. So you've got salad verte, steak, that doesn't work. Soupe de poisson, no, that doesn't work. Jambon, no, that doesn't work. Menu D is pâté, no, that doesn't work. The last one is salad with tomatoes, and he loves chocolate, and that is chocolate tart, so that works there. Okay, next, Carol loves fish and seafood, so we've got soupe de poisson and fruits de mer, so that seems to really go up with her taste. That's B. Asif likes meat but never eats ham or pork, so we know that B is taken, and we know that E is taken. Jambon is ham, and you've got pork in this menu here, so therefore the only available answer is A. Pâté is just pâté, I think, which is just meat, or dough, sorry. Okay, continuing on. This is just more about menus and food. Eating habits. What do these people say about eating habits? Link the sentences together and write the correct letter in each box. À mon avis, le jeune, c'est in my opinion the youngsters. Je crois que je, so I believe that. Je mange beaucoup de fruits. Je mange, I eat a lot of fruits, I eat. J'adore la nourriture italienne. I love Italian food. So let's try and match them up. I'll give you a second to do this, and then I'll show you the answers when I start seeing them in the chat. So the multiple choice ones are more foundation, but the rest of the questions are higher. So the other ones are higher, but it's all good practice anyway. It's a combination of higher and foundation. The multiple choice tends to be foundation, and then the paragraphs of writing is more higher level. Okay, so I'm going to answer this now. These actually, some of them have come from GCSE questions, but some of them are just practice questions. So, okay, continuing on. So the answer is, for the first one, à mon avis, le jeune, or le jeune, in my opinion, the youngsters, mangent trop de frites, eat too much fries. Next. Je crois que je, sentence 2, matches with manger sain. I believe that I should eat healthy. The next one, je mange beaucoup de frites, that matches up with F, vraiment du fast food. I eat a lot of foods, I rarely eat fast food. J'adore la nourriture italienne. And that matches up with comme le pâté, pasta. Okay, we'll do higher questions, as people seem to want to do that. Do you want to keep going through this, or do you want to go through a past paper? I can try and link this document. But if you guys want to go through past papers which have exam questions, we can do that instead. Paper, past paper. Okay, so we'll go through a past paper then instead. Okay, I'll get one up. Okay, so this is a higher. We should probably just focus on the harder questions and go through as many of it as possible. So you can answer this as we go through. This is higher AQA 2022 paper. So in a French magazine, you see a quiz about what jobs that people have and people do. And you've got 3 sentences here. So let's try and bring this down. If you can see a French Kahoot, can you link it and then I can we can go over that, please, in the chat. Thank you. So, which job goes with each person? Put your answers in the chat and we'll go through them. Oh, wait, sorry, that's wrong. That's actually foundation paper. Yeah, that is foundation. Sorry about that. That's the wrong paper. Okay. This is higher. At least you can see the difference between them. So, an extreme sports person. Read this online article about a champion climber, James Kingston. Write T in the statement if it's true, F is false, and NT if it's not in the text. So, James had permission to climb the tower. So you've got James a escalade la tour Eiffel sans autorisation. So sans means without authorization. So it's going to be the first one. So it's going to be false, sorry, without. Next one, he had to change his original plan. Il voulait acheter un billet pour monter au 12e étage, puis continuer sur la structure. So he wanted to buy a ticket in order to climb to the second stage and continue on that. Le nombre de touristes était un trop gros obstacle au succès de ce projet. So, the number of tourists was too much and an obstacle to his success, and therefore that is true. Next, climbing the tower took more than an hour. Alors, il a attendu 1 heure matin l'exploit. But that's not climbing the mountain. That's just saying for exploring it. For looking at the feat and doing the feat. After, il a promis de ne jamais s'approcher de la tour So he has promised to never approach the tour. He intends never to experience the climb. And he promised that he wanted to just observe it. So climbing the tower took more than an hour. That's actually not in the text. Because it's saying he waited an hour, but he didn't climb for that long. Okay, continuing on. He will go back to the tower soon. No, that is false. He does not want to ever go there again. Okay, continuing on. You see a Swiss blog which talks about becoming a guide. Answer the questions in English. What are 3 advantages of becoming a guide? So it begins. Le premier avantage d'être guide touristique est de mieux connaître l'histoire. So le mieux obviously means the best, and then connaître l'histoire is knowing the history. So it improves your knowledge of history. That's one advantage there. Par lieu, un guide n'aura aucune occasion d'être en mauvaise campagne, car les personnes en vacances sont toujours de bonne humeur. So the people that you are on holiday with are always in a good mood, and therefore that's another advantage of being a guide. And also, il est facile de trouver un emploi. It's easy to find a job. There you go, a temporary job, d'emploi. And that's another advantage of being a guide. Okay, what are 2 disadvantages mentioned? So, going through the disadvantages, you've got il faut noter que ce métier n'a pas sans inconvénient. En effet, il est nécessaire d'être toujours prêt à travailler durant l'été. So he's talking about how you have to work through summer. L'été is summer, and during that, and you have to work near summer. And also, what else does it say? Certains guides doivent même travailler 7 jours sur 7. So 7 days out of 7, you have to work a full 7-day week. That's another disadvantage there. Okay, moving on. On a French cinema website, you can read these reviews of a recent film. What do these reviewers think about the film? P is for positive, N is for negative, P and N is for positive and negative opinion. So, un bon film qu'il faut aller voir à tout prix. So that is positive. One should go there for any price, they're saying, for all the prices. Avec une grande délicatesse, le cinéaste s'approche tout près des mains et des nez, partage leurs secrets et de leur peur. So it was a big delicacy to take part in their secrets and in everything else. So it was remarkable. So B is also positive. À travers ce 2 jeunes filles, on comprend le mode. So you've got in order to trace these 2 girls and understand their fashion, something a bit long. So it's a bit long, but they enjoyed tracing the history of the people. So that's a positive and negative. And then D, la vie est une trop courte pour voir un film aussi bon intéressant. En plus, le documentaire n'est pas subtil. So that is a negative because not very interesting, and on top of that, it's not very subtle. So quite negative. Le réalisateur a suivi pendant 5 ans de jeunes adolescentes. Franchement, il a gaspillé son temps et son argent. So that again is negative. So the phrase il a gaspillé means wasted. He's wasted his time watching it and wasted his money. Et son argent. Okay. Read these extracts from some French poems. What is the subject of each poem? Okay, so you've got to match the 3 poems to the subject of them. This is interesting. An offer of love. So which one would that be? Poem 1. So poem 1, il parie-t-on avec moi pour le champs de bataille. So you've got battle there. Ils souffriront du froid et du soleil. So they suffer from the cold and the sun. They obey me in all of my commands. So instead, that one seems like going to war. So poem 1 is B. Poem 2, I was young and beautiful. I had it all. So that seems to be about growing older and talking about age. Je venais de trouver quelques cheveux blancs. So I'm seeing a lot of white hairs. I don't see any link if you're asking me to see one. I can't see any in the comments. Can you just keep, sending it? Quizlet Live, I can't see. Can you send the link across? For the Quizlet Live. And the third poem, I am free. If you were very rich, I would have loved you a lot. And me, I am free. So that seems to be about an offer of love. Let me try and get to doing a Quizlet Live because the link's not working. Or I'm going to try and do a Quizlet Live because I remember for my GCSEs I actually had a lot of GCSE French cards, so it might be worth doing that then. Okay, one sec. Sorry about this. This stream has been very disorganized compared to my normal ones. Okay, I think I found a good set, so hopefully can we do this live? It's not. How do I do a Quizlet live? Or start a Quizlet live? Hmm. This is all I'm able to do, unfortunately. I can't really do a Quizlet live. Does anyone know how to do it, or? Uh, yeah, it's the Quizlet live isn't working. I'm typing up on the internet, but it's still not working. There's not really any way to do it, I think. on the flashcard folder. Oh, okay, I need to have a teacher account. I'm so sorry for everybody. I don't want to waste your time. Oh, I think it's working now. I think we've got there. Okay, thank you to that person who said you need a teacher account. That has helped. I just switched it and then should work now. One sec. Do you want to do individuals or random teams? Oh, we'll do it like this. Okay. There we go. We got there in the end. This has got 1,000 terms, so this should be up to you guys. Individuals and then we'll do teams. Okay. Oh, finally, thank you so much. We'll start with individuals and then so sorry for that delay, and thank you everyone for mute the music. I already muted the music. Okay. I think, is that everyone here? People are still joining. Okay, so this has 1,000 terms, so hopefully it should contain a lot of practice for you guys, and maybe that will be the best way to do it. I think French is hard to revise as a group because people have different levels of skill. Okay, are people still joining? Yes. Okay, I think we'll start the game now. Okay, I thought it was going to be more interactive than this, but the code is here in the corner. I tried to mute the music, so I don't know. Can you not mute it for yourselves? Okay, was that beneficial? That was really quick. So these are the ones that most people struggled with. Chargé, busy. Finally, enfin. Souffrir, to be enough. La gestion, management. Okay, it was helpful. Let's play it again then. I'm going to shuffle the teams. Okay. So it seems like whoever gets 12 cards correct. Has the game frozen for you because it's just frozen on the screen? Oh, has it ended? Why is it? I think because there's a lot of you on there. It's literally not working. Maybe I'll reload it. Okay, this is the next game. We'll do it on fast mode, and we'll say there's 3 winners. Okay. Is the new code not working? There's actually a link which should help you if you're struggling. Okay, it seems like everybody's almost joined now, so we'll start the game soon. start the game in like 5 seconds once this number stops changing. Okay. Everybody's in their random teams and let's go. Chameleons seem to be winning it and sea dragons. Chameleons are in the lead. All sea dragons are taking it. I hope you're finding this helpful. I don't really know how it looks like on your screen. Sea dragons are in the run with 11. Then you've got chameleons, ostriches, reindeer, sea turtles, rhino. The game has to end when someone gets, or some team gets 16 correct in a row. And the highest right now is 11. 3 teams have 11: reindeer, sea dragons, and ostriches. Seems to have stopped here though. Okay, we'll end the game because it's frozen. Yeah, it seems to be glitching a lot. It's not letting me end the game either. I'm gonna have to reload this. Okay, do you want to play more games? If you do, then you can join it. If not, we can try and do something else. So if you want to play, you just have to go onto Quizlet Live, or actually, let me copy the link and just click on the link that I've sent in the chat. Okay, it seems like almost everybody's joined. Now, the majority of people want to do this. I would do a past paper, but it seems like people are enjoying this, and if they find it useful, then that's that. Okay. So just wait until it goes up to stopping, and then we'll get started. Seems to have stopped. Okay. Okay, well done, everybody. Going through the ones that people have made errors on. So to promote, promouvoir, cancel, annuler, just like the word annul. Le couloir is corridor. Le retenu is detention. That comes up a lot. Sourire is to smile. Énervé is to annoy. Le car is a coach. Okay, that's a long sentence. En retard means late. Le bijou is jewelry. Compteur to count on. Le tableau board, etc. Okay, let's play it again if you want to. If anybody else wants to join, they can do. Seems like 71 people have joined. Okay. If you need to join, you just click the link that I've put here now. Some people want to do an individual. We'll do one more Teams, and then thank you for the person who said thank you for the lives. I'm glad you're finding it helpful. This one was a bit chaotic, but okay, you don't want to do Teams anymore. Okay, you seem very strong about that. Individuals it is then. Okay, and you're going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. It'll be interesting to see who wins now out of the live, who's the lucky winner. Yeah, I'm going to do a live for English Literature Paper 2. I'm going to do loads more lives. French is just a bit of an anomaly in which there's not really a way of revising. That's why we're doing a lot of Kahoots and Quizlets. But the rest of them are going to be more kind of studious and based on content. So yeah, I'm going to do a live for English Literature Paper 2. I'll do a live for most subjects, actually. Okay. So congratulations, Jay or Tiger. So you guys are still given names, which is interesting. Okay. Well done. Do you want to keep doing individuals or teams? Let's do a YouTube poll to see if you want to do a past paper or keep playing with this and learning the vocab there. Okay, so go onto the community tab for YouTube on the Know for GCSE channel, and then you'll be able to vote. Okay. I've just put a poll up on the community tab, so you can vote there depending on whether you want to do a past paper or you wanted to keep practicing with this Quizlet. Can I create a poll above the chat as well? I didn't know that. I think because I'm not streaming via YouTube, I'm streaming via another platform, and therefore it won't be that easy. Do I think grade boundaries will be low? I mean, I'm not too familiar with your year. Grade boundaries, it literally depends on the performance of the day. So most people are saying yes, continue. I know some people want to do past papers, but you know. Okay, it's becoming very, very equal now. So what we'll do is we'll do one more Quizlet live and then we'll do a past paper, okay? Let's do it like that. This stream is probably going to last till about 9:15, that sort of timing, so probably half an hour more. Okay, so we'll do one more game and then you can move on. Okay, let's start the game. Do you want to do individuals or teams? Let's do team. Oh, sorry, I accidentally ended it before you even started. Let's do teams because that's what you're all about. Okay. You can join whatever team you want. Okay, we're going to start the game in 10 seconds, so choose your team and then we'll be starting. Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, it seems like everybody has won or done well. Okay, so you've gone through 144 terms in this practices, so it's quite good. Okay, let's now go through a past paper. So a lot of you have probably already gone through 2022. So what paper do you want to do? (2019). Okay, that seems to be the most popular option. So let's look at 2019 and let's look at the hardest question. So probably going towards the back of the paper. Okay. So this is the 2019 higher reading paper. So let's go through this. I think it's important to look at this part of the mark scheme as well, where it says the things that they want you to focus on and get right. So it says incorrect personal pronouns. So these are the things I recommend if you're doing some last minute revision, focus on these because you don't want to get them wrong because that means you're not going to get the marks in the reading exam. You need to have your tenses correct. I've got a tenses video series on the channel. Infinitives as well. So infinitives are accepted. You can accept the wrong gender unless it's ambiguity, possessive adjectives. Okay, so these are actually the things they will accept, but still be aware of them because you don't want to make too many mistakes. Yeah, this is AQA. Okay, you're on holiday in France and come across these restaurant reviews. What do the reviewers think about the restaurant? So you've got positive, negative, or positive and negative. So if you can answer for each of them, and then we'll go through. Okay, so going through them. So the first one, la patronne est chaleureuse, la cuisine est au top, bien préparée, avec de produits régionaux. So that is all positive. Going through some keywords there. Le patron, or le patron, that means the boss. So the boss was very charming. The food was the best, very well prepared with regional produce. So that's all together very positive. The second one, le balcon. So you've got il y a un nouveau propriétaire et le prix sont devenus plus chers. So the price is very expensive. Okay, so it seems like a negative. Il y a certainement moins de choix. So it is certainly less choice. There's not much choice to have. C'est dommage. So it's a disaster. So the second one clearly is negative. The third one, restaurant assez sympa avec de prix raisonnables. The restaurant was very nice and the very reasonable prices. Le service est rapide, fast service, but nous n'y reviendrons plus parce qu'il y a de meilleurs restaurants dans la région. So reviendront means come back. So they're saying that they wouldn't come back because there are many better restaurants in the region. So you've got a positive and negative one from here. And then the final one, mon poulet qui n'avait rien de spécial. So my chicken that had nothing special about it, negative. In the summer, réchauffé. So talking about how hot it was, au micro-ondes. So it was microwaved. There was no music, pas de musique, juste le bruit du micro-ondes dans le cuisine. So just saying there was just noise of the microwave from the kitchen. So that is also completely negative. Okay, moving on. So here is a writing one. So read this article about a cultural festival which takes place in Mali. So what else can visitors do at the festival apart from listening to musicians? So let's see. Le Festival au désert est une manifestation culturelle musicale that talks about music. The summer festival, le festival a été créé en janvier 2000, so started in January 2000, et s'inspirant de grands fêtes traditionnels. Pendant 4 jours, so during 4 days, il permet aux visiteurs d'écouter de musique musiciens africains et de regarder de corps de cheveux. This is the bit. So you can watch horse racing. That's another thing you can do. There's the mark. Okay, moving on to the next one. Why do some countries recommend not visiting this area of Mali? So let's look out for that now. Talking about in 2018, the festival had received 9,000 individuals. But notice how it says despite, malgré. So here, this is a keyword here, malgré, and it often comes up. Despite the recommendations that certain countries, aussi de tantôt, de ne pas se rendre dans cette région malienne en raison de la guerre. La guerre, you should instantly recognize as war qui fait rage au nord du pays, which is happening in the north of the country. So you can just talk about the war. Okay, moving on to the next question. What other disadvantage is faced by visitors? So see, we can see here, en plus, pendant le festival, a plus, during the festival, le prix de chambre a tendance à augmenter de manière souvent abusive. So the prices during the festival tend to increase whilst you are having your stay there until it gets to a point where it's just trying to abuse the fact that there's tourism. So you can talk about the price of the hotel rooms. Okay, description of a town. Notice how they're labeling each of the sections. Okay, and that is important because it's telling you what module it's from, what vocabulary. It's trying to act as a reminder. So going here, read this extract from the novel Eugène Grandet by a French person. Decide if the statements are true, false, or not mentioned. So let's show the statements as well. The first statement is that the street is noisy. So let's look at that. À Saumur, il y a une petite rue étroite qui monte à Château. Cette rue est toujours propre et paisible. So it's very quiet and very nicely organized. So the first one is false. The inhabitants do not have much privacy. So dans cette rue, il n'y a pas de secret. That's quite obvious there. It's saying there's no secrets on this street. Therefore, they do not have much privacy, and that is going to be true. Okay, many young women live here. Let's see if that's true. So women are femmes. So let's see if we see any discussion of that. Si en jeune fille, so if a young woman est à sa fenêtre, tous les autres la verront. So it's quite a difficult sentence there. So they're saying that if a young woman is at the window, everybody will look, which is suggesting that not many young women live there. They're quite rare. So that is, but it's not talking about how many women live there at the same time. You're not directly told that many young women live there. We're just told that women are looked at. So you can say not mentioned. Okay, continuing on. Eating outdoors is popular. So let's see if we can find a phrase which is linked to eating outdoors. So remember, eating outdoors is dehors. So let's see if we can find anything about that. La vie est presque toujours en plein air. So life is very close to fresh air. Chaque famille s'assied devant la maison, y déjeune et y dîner. So s'assied devant la maison. So what that phrase means is it sits in front of the house. So each family sits in front of their houses and they drink and they dine. And when this road, cette rue, se trouve la maison de Monsieur Grandet, maire. So when you find on the road the mayor's house, un homme très riche, so a very rich man. Sa fille, his daughter, Eugène, menait une vie ennuyeuse entre un père strict et sévère et une mère gentille et passive. So have a very annoying life between a very strict father and a very gentle and kind mother. So entre, that's a common word that's given in French. So make sure you know that. But looking at what we're being asked about, eating outdoors is popular. So yeah, actually, sorry, we just surpassed that. So that's true. Every family sits outside and eats. Okay, Eugenie's parents are very similar. No, we just saw that she has a very annoying life between them, entre. So clearly not. So that is false. Eugenie is seen as a suitable future wife. Let's look. Beaucoup de jeunes hommes voudront épouser Eugenie car ils croient qu'elle vient d'une famille aisée. So a lot of people a lot of young men, it says, want to marry her because They believe that she is from a family that is very comfortable and very rich. So aisée means comfortable, okay? So Eugenia is seen as a suitable future wife. Well, you can say that that's true because a lot of people want to marry her. Okay. Moving on to the next one now. Becoming a vegan. Read this article in a French magazine in which Arthur talks about becoming a vegan. Write which three statements about the article are true. Write the correct letters in the boxes. So there's a lot of possible things that are true here. So let's read this. Pourquoi est-ce qu'on devient vegan? So why should one become vegan? Certains veulent défendre le droit des animaux, so the rights of animals, certainly one should want to defend them. D'autres détestent le goût de la viande, so a lot of other people detest the actual meat part of it or the guts of having animals or the taste. Goût is taste, so the taste of meat. Moi, j'ai pris la décision car la viande cause de maladies. So what does that mean? It causes diseases. The digestion of meat causes diseases. So just by reading that, can we say that any is true and false? Looking down. Arthur became a vegan because of animal rights. That's false because he actually became it because of the diseases. Arthur does not like the taste of meat. Not necessarily told that yet. Arthur has become a vegan for health reasons. That is true. Now let's continue on. On dit que nous pouvons nourrir tout le monde. So we spoke that people can feed the whole world si on ne mange pas de viande. So there's actually enough food to feed the whole world without having to eat meat. Pourtant, je n'en suis pas persuadée. So pourtant means yet. I am not persuaded. Ma sœur est... So he doesn't believe in that statement. Ma sœur est végétarien. My sister's vegetarian. Malgré ce effort. So despite her efforts, we just said malgré, important phrase. Elle a toujours envie de manger de la viande. She always is invited or wants to or envies eating meat. The eating of meat. So envie de manger means she always wants to. So she always wants to eat meat. Elle dit que les animaux sont la première cause de la pollution. So she believes that animals are the main cause of pollution. Okay, so let's now go through the rest of the answers. Arthur thinks vegetarianism can combat famine, never says that. Arthur's sister is finding it hard to give up meat. That's true. Arthur's sister wants to protect the environment. That's true. So those are the three answers, C, E, and F. Doesn't actually matter in the mark scheme, it says, doesn't matter which order you put them in. Okay, travel and tourism. You see this online forum in which French students give their impressions about their excursions to a volcano on the island of Réunion. Write the name of the correct person. So who did not enjoy the food? So going through this, sur île on the island, j'ai découvert le volcan impressionné du piton de la fournaise au lever du soleil. So Alice discovered the impressive volcano au lever du soleil. Lever du soleil is in reference to the sunrise, the sun getting up, literally, that's what it means. Ça valait la peine, which means it was worth it. That's a common phrase that's come up twice now. So ça valait le peine, it was worth it, and it was worth getting up at an early hour. Un guide non à montre beaucoup d'autres sites. So it is, our guide says, a guide was that we watched it often. So it was shown a lot, this sunrise. Malheureusement, unfortunately, j'avais du mal à le comprendre. So j'avais du mal à le comprendre. She's saying she had trouble understanding it. Le déjeuner gratuit, the free lunch at the observatory, the volcanic observatory, m'a fait plaisir. Okay, that was all we were asking for the first one. So she liked it, fine. On m'a dit que le volcan est actif et qu'il y a une activité constante. So one would be told that the volcano is active and there would be constant activity. Je n'ai rien vu de remarquable et nous avons quitté l'hôtel trop tôt, mais le pique-nique était correct. So despite the picnic being correct, they decided to leave the volcano site, and quitter means they left. They left the hotel very, very early, a lot early. But they still enjoy the food, so it must be Catherine, but let's just make sure. So notre guide Fred, the guide Fred, nous a fait découvrir de différents paysages pendant notre longue balade. So their guide Fred had discovered a lot of different landscapes, paysages, pendant notre longue balade. So during their long ride. Balade is ride. C'était une promenade avec un guide qui partageait et faisait découvrir son île. So the guide was about partaking in and discovering the island. Cependant, quand on déjeunait, pas de commentaires. They can't even talk about how bad the food was. Okay, continuing on. Who struggled to understand the guide? Alice, because she said j'avais du mal à le comprendre. She had trouble understanding. Who did not enjoy visiting the volcano? This seems to be Bruno, as they left early because he was told, or he believes, that the volcano should have been active. This is higher. Okay. Who did not like getting up early? So Alice talks about getting up early. However, she does not complain about it, whereas Bruno actually complains about it. Nous avons quitté l'hôtel trop tôt. So we had to leave the hotel very early. So he's complaining about it. So even though Alice seems to be talking about it, it's actually Bruno who doesn't like getting up early. Okay. Finding a career. While on holiday in Canada, you find an article in which a girl talks about finding a career. Write the correct letter in the box. So what does Christelle feel is the most important factor in choosing a job? It's highly likely what happens is she then talks about all of the things. So, how does Christelle feel is the most important factor in choosing a job? Is it money, job satisfaction, meeting others? Voici le témoignage de Christelle. So what is témoignage? that is testimony. So here's a testimony of Christelle. Nous passons tellement de temps au travail. So tellement just means so much. So we spent so much of our time in work. Il vaut mieux aimer ce qu'on l'on fait. So il vaut mieux. So is that saying that one better like what they're doing, therefore. Ça, c'est l'essentiel. So that is the essential part. So it seems like she's putting emphasis on this, and therefore liking your job, that is job satisfaction. This is higher. Okay, next. What else does she consider to be important? So is it job security, the possibility of promotion, or independence? Going up. So, d'ailleurs, il faut choisir d'emplois qui aident à diminuer le risque du chômage. So it's important to choose a job that helps in reducing the chance that you will be unemployed. Le chômage comes up almost every year, just means unemployed. Okay, so job security, therefore, would be the correct answer. But let's try and make sure that we can actually choose our answer by cancelling out the other ones so we know that they're definitely wrong. So the possibility of promotion, à mon avis, l'indépendance financière est moins indispensable. So, in my opinion, financial independence is less indispensable, less important. La promotion n'est pas important. Promotion isn't even important, et le contact avec les autres n'est pas suffisant. So the contact with other people and being social with other people is clearly not suffice. So that proves that our answer is A. Next, what was her choice of job before taking part in the Option Femmes Emploi program? So, mes parents tenaient un magasin. Now, what does tenaient mean? What does that verb mean? Tenaient means holding. So, my parents were holding a shop, but it wasn't for me. So, they used to have a shop, but it wasn't for me. Donc, so, j'ai participé à un programme. So, I participated in a program, Option Femmes Emploi. So, looking back at the options, what was her choice of job before taking part in this? So was it working in a shop, working in health service, work in the food industry? Let's read a bit more because we need to be sure. So cela, which means this means, cela me permet de mieux me connaître. So it allows me to get a better knowledge, and après le programme, after the program, j'ai renoncé à travailler comme infirmier. So renoncer means she gave up and started working as a nurse. Et j'ai cherché un emploi dans le domaine de l'alimentation. So power supply. So she was working in that sector, the power supply sector of that job. So clearly she's working in the health service, and this is what she worked for. She didn't actually work in the shop because she refused to do that. She didn't work in the food industry. She worked in the health service. Okay, continuing on. What is Christelle doing at the moment? So, I mean, it's kind of obvious because it actually said that in the title that she's taking a course, but let's just double check. So, Maintenant, now, me sentant encore plus confiante, j'apprendis à conduire un véhicule lourd. So, talking about driving, but it doesn't necessarily mean that she's doing that. So, I learnt how to drive a vehicle. Une fois le stage terminé, one time before the last stage, je chercherai un emploi. Mes parents, qui n'étaient pas contents au début, sont fiers de moi et ils ne se soucient plus de mon choix. So parents weren't happy with her choice. So it seems that she was initially taking a course. She wasn't working as a lorry driver, she was taking a course. What is the reaction of Christelle's parents? They're unhappy, they're worried about her, or they're proud of her. So let's just go back to that and see. Okay, so my parents, who never have been happy with my past career choice, sont fiers de moi. So fier de moi means proud of me. So they're the direct words you need. So fier means proud. So it talks about how initially they were never happy, but now they are. So the answer is C. They're proud of her. Okay, moving on to life at school. In an online forum, a girl talks about boarding at her school. L'internat est une section de école qui offre la possibilité de loger. So the internet is one section of school which offers a possibility to stay and talk to fellow students. Of course, a lot of young French people are on the internet. It is the summer. Okay. Let's see. So, what is the task here? According to Leah, what are the advantages and disadvantages of boarding school? So, you have to take apart what she's saying. So, advantages, j'ai été à l'Internet de la seconde à la terminale. J'habitais à 2 heures de mon lycée parce que j'avais choisi de faire arts plastiques à la campagne. Il est presque impossible de faire cette option. So, tout n'était pas rosé. So what she's saying here is that il est presque almost impossible to choose this option. Nowhere else has it. So that's actually an advantage that she's able to do the subject she wants. So we've got one advantage there. Le chambre n'était pas individuel. So that seems to be a disadvantage. The rooms aren't individual. You have to share them. Et pour commencer, when starting, j'avais un peu peur de vivre au quotidien avec des personnes que je ne connaissais pas bien. So she had a bit of fear in having to meet with people that she didn't know too much about. So that's actually a disadvantage. That'll be in the next question, sorry. I mistook that for disadvantages. Okay, so we've got one advantage there where it's that she's able to do an option that she likes, and another advantage is what you can see here. J'habitais à 2 heures de mon lycée parce que j'avais choisi de faire d'arts plastiques. So she's saying that it's close to her because her nearest other sixth form would be 2 hours of traveling. So it's more beneficial for her. So that's another advantage that you can mention. Okay. And we've spoken about disadvantages. So now on to the next question. While on holiday in France, you see a blog on people's attitude to poverty. Write the correct letter in the box. How do parents often feel when children ask about poverty? So let's see what it says. Pourquoi est-ce que certaines personnes vivent dans la rue? Why do certain people live on the streets, dans la rue? Quel parent ne s'est jamais senti gêné et mal à la laisser faire aux questions de son enfant sur la pauvreté? So, a parent is never is never not. Senti gêné means felt embarrassed. So they never don't feel embarrassed. So it's a double negative there, and therefore it seems that it's uncomfortable. Il est évident que la pauvreté rend les enfants anxieux. So it makes children anxious, and therefore it's an uncomfortable topic. So senti gêné means felt embarrassed. Why do children often think? What do children often think is the cause of homelessness? Is it the lack of a job, lack of effort at school, or lack of talent? So going through this, we can see, par exemple, on entend souvent le SDF, which is just the people without homes. That's what they're often referred to in France. N'ont pas bien travaillé à l'école. So they didn't work hard at school en dépit de leurs talents. So they didn't work out hard at school, so therefore they did not find their talent. So it wasn't the lack of talent, it was they didn't find it, and they didn't find it because they did not work in school. So the answer is B. Okay, how many people have false ideas about poverty? Many people, most people, or a small number of people. So, la majorité, mais un nombre important quand même. So plein de gens, which means just a lot of people, and it says the majority here. So clearly it is the first answer, which is many people. Although it says majority, actually, sorry, I'm correcting myself there. So it says the answer is many, because when it says majority, the majority, but it's it's not as important of numbers. It's not as big of a number. So even though lots of people misunderstand things, it's not as big of a number to be the majority. Okay, and what is the main cause of poverty? Divorce, drug addiction, or mental health issues. So, il faut expliquer aux enfants le vrai cause de la pauvreté. So, one should explain to children the real cause of poverty, tel que le divorce, les effets de l'usage de l'alcool et de drogue, et en première ligne, the main idea, la dépression et le trouble de la personnalité, so mental health issues. It's important to look out for where it's saying the most important and not just listing things. So mental health issues there. Okay. So it's getting close to 9:30, so we're probably going to end the live stream about here. I know it was a bit chaotic, but I hope you found the majority of it beneficial, or at least going through papers, kind of knowing what to expect. It's a bit hard to revise for French, but we've got a lot more structured lives coming up. Thank you for those of people who were taking part in the chat and also in the Quizlet lives. I hope you have a really good exam and tell me how they go. I would recommend just doing lots of revision and doing lots of practice in terms of looking at your vocab just before the exam. Okay? So thank you so much for watching and tell me how it goes.